No time for that doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Diffuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, apply myself, I felt it in. No time for that doubt, they kinda me out.
Hold up. I hear the crowd, but what's going on, man? Oh, you just like a boxer, man. I just want to say what's up to everybody, man. Welcome back to another episode of In the Red Corner. Is your mic on? Can you hear me, Rick? What's going on, Rick?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Man. You gave me the look, man. You over there looking like Calvin, man. I know Tank in training camp, but what's going on? But outside of that, we want to say welcome. Hold up, let me get the business out the way right quick, man.
Right,
welcome back to another episode of In the Red Corner. You know, you got your boy, Mr. Your Done Son himself from the Refuse to Lose Big Three. And then we also got In the Red Corner Ricky. Ty,
yep.
We doing this one for you, man. We're going to shake some things up, man. We got a lot of things coming, a lot of things in the pipeline for In the Red Corner, but we want to say we're streaming on 2 platforms right now. We're on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button. And we're also on X or Twitter, however you feeling today. Make sure you repost this, share it with someone, because you know when it comes to boxing, everybody got an opinion. But over here, we telling you our opinion from In the Red Corner. What's going on, Rick?
Man, I'm happy to get this show started. Ready to talk about these good, events that just passed and upcoming events that's coming. So let's get this boxing talk on.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because again, like I said, we live off of the comments. We want to let y'all know this is one of the few shows on the platform. We have a plethora of shows and a plethora of IG chats, and I'm going to tell you about as we go on throughout the episode. But there was one fight that happened a few weeks ago, and we want to just touch on it a little bit because there was a lot of speculation going into the fight. Then a lot happened during the fight. Then even much more happened after the fight. So it's kind of like you would have thought this was a Floyd fight the way all this was happening, man. So we're going to touch on it right now and talk about Ryan versus Haney versus the PEDs, then versus social media.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. So after April 22nd, man, it's kind of like filling out your taxes, man. So if you're an entrepreneur, you already know what it is when you got to fill out those W-9s, W-4s, anything with the IRS. That's all I'm going to say. After the shocking victory that Garcia got over David Haney on April 22nd, shortly after that, it was reported that he tested positive for some PEDs. And we really gonna just jump into it. Like, Haney was upset. He did we already know what Bill did. Bill went on IG Live. He went smack at Floyd. Then Devin went on ESPN. He did a personal Sports Center interview. I don't know when that
interview,
happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that. But then Ryan Garcia, he went over to Boulder, Colorado. He doing skits on IG. He having the time of his life. So I'm asking you like this. After watching that fight and seeing the way it went down, do you think the steroid allegations matter?
So my opinion about that is I think I've got mixed feelings about it because, we don't know if it's factual. So I can't really say this is really true. And another thing is what I do know that's factual is that the lack of preparation for Haney, being knocked down 3 times was with the same move. It was a left in the 7th, a left in the 10th, and I think it was a left in the left in the 11th. And all those added up to knockdowns. So I think it still wouldn't matter if you still got hit with the same punch, if that makes sense. Like, it wouldn't really matter with all the allegations that's going on with Ryan Garcia, and now everybody a scientist want dissect the results that they see, and they just some of the people just only see positive and just going off of that. Like, I feel like it's one of them things that VADA should have a spokesperson to come out and speak on these type of things instead of letting the fighters just be out here just throwing that information out here and letting people, take their own opinion and run with stuff like that. Because boxing is a very dangerous sport, And if this is true, because you can't play boxing. If this is true, I am very I would be very say upset with Ryan on that based on these fighting competitions where you put your life on the line. So I think that I think without it, without the allegation, Devin still lost terribly, very terribly. Like, and even with the allegations and based on him, keep getting hit with the same hit, I'm like, you still lost. Like, you still lost because I don't know what the steroid or the the substance supposed to do for Ryan, but Ryan did his thing in the ring. Like, that's one thing I can't say that he didn't do. He did do his thing. So with the allegation, what you think? What you think? Do you think he needed steroids to fight Haney?
I wanted to more so just hear your aspect on it because I know recently they said that he got cleared of one of the I think he got cleared of the PEDs, but they're still testing for the ostarine. I ain't a doctor, so if I botch that, it is what it is. Shout out to Tay. Yeah, I guess he out there trying to get boots. It is what it is. But look, shout out to Tay. I mean, yeah, he got cleared for one, but him and his lawyer, they trying to fight for the other one. At the end of the day, I mean, the only thing the steroid could have did was actually get him back in the ring because bruh, I picked Haney because technically in the beginning I picked Ryan Garcia because I don't really trust Haney that much after watching the Loma fight. But then Ryan Garcia started doing all these antics and it was kind of like, man, you're not taking it serious. And I know Haney is the better boxer of the two, so he's going to win. The next thing you know, they get out there and he got hit with the one punch that everybody keeps talking about, that left. If you know about this left and Bill know about this left, we know about this left. How you get hit with it in the first round? And
Yeah,
then
got
you talking
days.
then you talking about I was surprised by it. What do you mean? What do you mean? Drewski voice. Like you should have been prepared. And then after that, he kind of gathered himself in the rounds after that. I would say 2 through 5. But then after that, you got hit again. So basically, you kind of got outboxed with the ugly shoulder roll. Like this is
Yeah.
so ugly.
With the back turn, shoulder roll.
It got so bad.
He gave you his tail to kiss.
Exactly. Then you hitting his ribs, and it's like it's not affecting him because that was about that same area where Tank hit him, and he was like, "I don't want to fight no more." He turned into Martin. I don't want to fight no more. I don't want to fight, and that's what happened. So I don't think the PEDs had anything to do with the actual boxing of it. It may have gave him a little bit more power, just a tad bit, but everybody said Ryan already had power before that. So all it did was just add a little to the punch already. So I mean, going into that, do you think a rematch should happen?
For that. So this is the thing. I think if there was a rematch, I think Ryan still has to earn that go back to a rematch. The only reason I say that is because he came in 3 pounds over. Like, what are you competing for? What you get this? Why you trying to create a scenery of something like the fight of the year and you don't want to compete for the belts and take the belts from him? That would have did way more damage along with what's going on now if you would have some belts on your shoulder right now. You get what I'm saying? So I think since he got all the allegations and he put that dramatic episode, I still think that he should, go through the proper protocol, trying to earn his way back to at least try to go get the belts, somebody belts. But if he don't want to fight for the belts, I'm fine with that too. But because especially in today's time, it's not a lot of the top fighters are not chasing the belts. They, it's more so the money.
They're chasing the pay-per-views. You are right about that one. For me, he already know Ryan Garcia gonna be cocky with it. He's like, rematch? Why would I give him a rematch? I beat him already. And then they waited 3 weeks to say something about PEDs. Like, this don't even make sense. So for me, I wouldn't watch it, even if it does happen. I'm lying. I would watch it. I would definitely watch it because I want to see what Devin Haney gonna do. Because I don't know, Rick.
I be thinking, Rick. So this is what I'm thinking. So
I don't know, Rick. Garcia gonna do that all over again.
You think so?
I think he's gonna do the antics again, and it's gonna be like, come on, bro. And Haney gonna be more serious. It ain't gonna be fun.
And Ryan, I know Ryan feel good about himself because Ryan also, kind of from what rumor is that he owned them in the amateurs as well. So this is like it's like okay, I don't need to fight you no more unless you have something I want.
I mean, he do got something he want though. At the end of the day, I think Ryan do want the belt. At the end of the day, I do think he wants the belt. I think in this moment, because of the antics, something happened behind the scenes that we're not aware of. And at some point, Ryan gonna do an IG live and tell us outside of him seeing the Bohemian stuff, he gonna tell us what happened that made him just switch. Because I think he still wants to fight Tank. And you know what? Let's do this because it just hit me. And I'm glad we
Okay.
having this open discourse. This is a boxing show. We feel like we in the barbershop just a little bit. I think after Garcia lost that first match, he doesn't care about losing anymore. So now he's fighting with house money. And everyone that he goes up against that has that O on their record, he feels like he can beat them. And even if he does lose, he could just move on to the next big fight. Because what was the talk about it after this? That he's now the face of boxing after one fight. And it's really because of the antics. But he is the money grab now. So he can go fight a Shakur, probably win or lose. I know Tay gonna say something about that in the comments in just a second. He can probably try to go fight a Tank again. The plethora it's golden corral for him at this point with his opponents if they really want to fight him. When it comes to Devin Haney, he has more to prove to me as a boxer outside of him winning the undisputed titles. But in the last 4 or 5 fights that I've seen from him, he just doesn't look like the fighter that everyone says he is. The Loma fight, it was very questionable. He bounced back on the second one. Then you lose to Ryan. So as far as a rematch, I wouldn't want to see him fight Ryan Garcia no more. That chapter's done. You got your belt, move on.
No, I would prefer it to be later and let Ryan either get a belt to bring something to the table, or they both go up and weight again. And they have to see each other again. But knowing that for Ryan, let's get off Ryan a little bit. What what do you think should Haney do next? Do you think Haney should continue to chase these belts? Do you think he should try to get that rematch before he do anything else? Fight is mandatory. What do you think in your opinion?
Man, it's kind of like what Rick Ross did with 50 Cent. You got to chase the hits, man. Just chase the belts, regardless of what's going on in this moment, because you shouldn't have lost to Ryan Garcia, but you got to chase the belts, in my opinion. And what his father's doing on Instagram, going after Floyd, the back and forth between them, y'all got to prove that you're not the laughing stock of boxing at this point. To lose to Ryan Garcia the way that he lost, like Ryan put pause on him. It don't look as bad as Spencer Crawford, probably because of the buildup with Spencer Crawford, but he got beat just as bad as Spence did.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was bad. Like he shouldn't have touched the mat that many times. And it was the same punch.
The
I can
same
see if he was
exact punch
catching him
since
with an
the first
uppercut or
round.
something. Yeah. And you was controlling the fight for almost 4 or 5 rounds. Like you was controlling the fight. You bounced back. You had a championship, that champion pedigree in you. And you was fighting back, and then you just let him take over. Then that 12th round was sad. He running around doing all the crazy stuff, licking his tongue
Yeah,
out. Like,
dancing and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, if you Devin, man, just go to
Hey,
the next fight. Make sure that you call up. I mean, if Shakur want to make it happen with Shakur. I mean, you gotta
nah,
tell
they
me about
wasn't.
some
So
more people that's in
he
the weight
wouldn't fight
class. So.
Shakur. He wouldn't go down to fight Shakur because Shakur now wouldn't be worth the value to him. But one thing I do say he should continue to do is he could fight as mandatory,
And
and
who's
that
that?
would be Sander Martin. That would be his mandatory. I believe WBC, that would be his WBC mandatory to be sure. But I think he should go ahead and do that. Get this fight as mandatory. Keep chasing the belts. Get a couple more tune-ups and work on defending. The left. You gotta keep your hand on. You gotta keep the phone up. You gotta pick the phone up. You gotta keep it up
The
to
money
defend
phone.
against that left. And another thing is just don't. Another thing he has to do is focus on preparation, and
There
also
we
I
go.
believe Devin fell victim to thinking that Ryan wasn't preparing any type of way for him. I also think that as well
He pulled a
because
Drake.
all the antics.
He pulled a Drake.
Yeah,
Okay.
what do you mean Drake? Hold on, what do you
Drake
mean?
wasn't fully prepared for what Kendrick was about to do, and then he went out there with the two
Yeah,
diss tracks, and now look at him now.
yeah,
Everybody
no,
screaming OV, and I ain't gonna finish it. It's a family
yeah,
show.
no, I finished. Yeah,
so, so that's what I'm saying. Now, I think that too. I think his father kind of let the foot off the gas a little bit too in training camp after all those antics. I think they were like, man, he not taking this serious. Then he came in the weigh-in with the beer. At the end of the day, you never underestimate your opponent. So that's a bad look
Exactly.
on their camp. That's why I'm with Tay. Devin just need a tune up. Don't chase the rematch. Let that go, man. It is what it is. PEDs or not, you just gotta let this one go.
Exactly.
Hold up, what Tay say right here? Devin need to lift. He needs more power. I mean, Frank Martin lifting a lot, and we see what's about to happen to him. But we'll talk about that on another episode.
No, Devin definitely needs power to continue to going up in weight. But where he's at now, I think he needs more. He need to find more defensive techniques
There we
because
go.
his punching resistance is low. He needs to find more defensive techniques that's going to work for him. That's going to help him get hit less.
And if we really want to talk about it too, I agree with that. And let's add to this just a little bit. If you go back and watch that Loma fight, if Loma had the power that Ryan had, it's night night. Remember what
You're
happened in the
absolutely right.
remember what happened in the corner? He was like, man, I feel like he know everything I'm about to do. Yeah, because he's
Exactly.
prepared.
Yep. If Loma had just a little bit more power, or maybe just another round, it would have been over.
Yeah, yeah, that was bad. That was bad. But one thing we will say is it's not bad is this network. You know, Refuse to Lose is a network. I know you see the logo in the corner. I know you watching in the red corner. And you're like, man, I thought this was just one show. Now we're actually a network. We have a bunch of IG chats as well, but I'm gonna go over the shows that we have because we had, of course, you got in the red corner. Then you got FFC with Coach Coombs. That's all your fantasy football. So not even fantasy football. He just talk football all the time. So you're gonna say fantasy football with Coach Coon so you can get your draft ready. You know that season's coming up. We got BWT baseball with Teddy. Baseball season is in full effect. Shout out to the Nats. They got that win yesterday. Red Sox, y'all know what's up. Detroit Tigers, I see y'all. I see you in the comments too, Carl. That's the inside joke for those who don't know. CTC, Carl Talking College. My man talks about basketball and football, but it's Carl Talking College. When you want some college knowledge, you go holler at Carl. RBO, Real Ballers Only. NBA playoffs. RBO is with Vaughn. NBA playoffs is in full swing. Orlando Magic, you know, they had a recent exit, but you know, him and Tay, they just did an episode talking about the season. They jumped from like 8 to from a play-in team to the playoffs, but all basketball goes through there, you know. And check it out, I'm telling you, Vaughn talks about all the stuff in basketball that we don't even want to touch on in the national media, but it's the stuff that we touch on in our conversations and our text chats and all of that. You also got Kings Talk. You know, we got a Kings fan on here. Shout out to Joe. I see you, Joe. Started this whole dream. But you know, Kings fans, they need a platform as well to talk about lighting the beam. So if you want to talk about the beam and listen to the Kings, pick it up with Joe. Then we got Dave's Doghouse. Highlights, lowlights. Just make sure you do your job because you don't want to end up in the doghouse with Dave. Because I'm telling you, Dave done put some risky people and some people that actually earned it in the doghouse. Like Bill, pocket watching Bill, doghouse. But if you're doing your thing and you out here just crushing the opponents, kind of like Ant was in game one, then you be in the yard. Dave's Doghouse, check that out. We got episodes going up. I think it's every Wednesday. Don't kill me on the schedule. And of course, you got the main show, R2L. That's with me, Joe, and Dave. I know y'all like, man, everybody on here got their own show. I mean, if you do the work, you can get your own show. But R2L, that's where this all started. We literally talk about everything within sports. You can talk about football, soccer. I'm not gonna say soccer. I'm gonna stop because Dave won't get me. But we do talk about soccer a little bit. We don't talk about golf. Make sure you check us out. We got episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Click the link in the description, and you learn a little bit more about this Refuse to Lose network. But I know you're here to talk about some boxing, so let's get back to boxing. Last weekend, this weekend is Mother's Day weekend. First of all, Rick, we messed up on the intro.
Oh yes, we did. We got a shout out to all the mothers.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, we wouldn't be here without you guys.
yeah.
So definitely want to shout out all the mothers and happy Mother's Day.
And even as a black queen mama, you know what I'm saying? We got to celebrate mamas this weekend, but last weekend it was turned up. Cinco de Mayo. We had the Cinco de Mayo standoff though. Your favorite fighter. I don't know if he's still your favorite fighter.
Nah, he's still my favorite fighter. I gotta give it to him. He's still my
Okay,
favorite
okay.
fighter.
Well, it's good to know then, because we got to talk about Canelo versus, you got to help me with my man last name. These
Mon-
boxers.
Jaime Mungia.
We're going to say Hami. Canelo versus Haney. My bad. I don't want to. Hey, I know he lost, but don't come find me.
No,
All right.
we don't want to butcher their names, but Jaime, that against Canelo, that fight was it was good on Canelo end because I would have been highly upset if Jaime would get the best of him, especially if he didn't fight Benavidez. But being Canelo, being my favorite fighter, and having faith in him, he basically, it was a sparring match for him. He did his thing. He at one point I think he was holding up Jaime to keep him in the fight himself.
He
After he
was.
done dazed him.
He
You
was.
know, and another thing too, I don't know if people were watching, but Canelo, it's like a slow walk Terminator walking towards you. Like he just, okay, you back, you ready? Come on, here I come. It's like a slow punishment. You know what I'm saying? He has the opportunity in that fight. I want to say it looked like he had the opportunity to knock him out. Like he just held the opposition a destiny in his hand. It was like, hey, do I want to knock you out? Or do I want to keep you here? But we from the same country. I'm gonna just keep you up and help you stand strong because you got a career to go. But Jaime did look good in some aspects.
He
One
stood
thing I
toe to
want to
toe with him.
say, yeah, he still toe to toe for them, but he left himself open for a lot of body shots because Canelo was definitely beating his body up real bad. But Canelo winning this one, I seen that coming. And hopefully, we can get this Benavidez fight, but I'm pretty sure that's not even being talked about no more between the two. But yeah, Canelo did his thing. What you think? What you think about it?
For me,
I know you weren't surprised. I know you weren't surprised.
I was more so surprised that the youngin stood toe to toe with him like that. Like through some of the moments where they were literally just trading blows, it was looked like they was working out on the punching bag. The way they was just standing there just trading blows like that. I was gonna ask you more of one of these questions though. Do you think Canelo gave him the shot, kind of like how Floyd gave him his, and Jaime learned something from this loss?
And I would say yes. I definitely feel like Canelo sees something in him and sees something in him, especially the way they was fighting. I definitely see Canelo sees that this young dude will have a good future in boxing. And it's best one thing about taking your L. And again, especially for people who scared to lose their O, if you're gonna lose your O, you have to maintain your career. I feel so it's best to lose it at the top.
Yeah,
It does nothing. It does nothing to Jaime's career going forward, taking his L from Canelo.
you
All
mean
it
on the
does is
way
make
up,
him better.
or because you said take the L at the top, so you mean on your way up, or like when you get to Canelo's level?
So what I mean at the top is when you have an opportunity to fight the top opponent. You
Okay,
currently, if you have the opportunity to fight that top opponent at that day of fight, you currently at the top.
got you.
You're second to the top opponent. So it's like the 1 and 2. So you have this opportunity, and it's best to lose it when you at the top, top platform at that moment to lose your, get your loss if if it happens to take that L, so you can
Got you.
continue your career.
That makes sense. I rather, like you said, I rather like when Canelo lost to Floyd. I think that made him a better fighter. Then he took off after that. But Tay said, should Canelo fight Bud or is it just a dream? Bud got to go up though.
So this is the thing. At first I was against it because I couldn't see it. But now, as I see Bud like growing to 154 and seeing how, you know, the size, especially against the opponent he's about to fight, I feel as though that would be a good fight. That would be a great fight. I really think Bud can compete. I think I don't know. It's one of them fights. I don't know who will win. I don't know
Really,
who will win, and I definitely know it wouldn't be no cakewalk, and it definitely would be a bloody fight on both
I
sides.
I agree with you that it's not a cakewalk. I'm picking Bud because of how I seen him lock in on his last opponent. Maybe because it was personal, but the way he locks in and going off of the interview y'all had on here, you already
Yeah.
know what the camp gonna bring. And Canelo, like Tay, you just said it though. You kind of said he cruising to retirement. So at some point, he gonna take a step back in one of those training sessions, and then boom, that's when Bud gonna come out there. Because you're not just training for Bud with one stance. Bud can switch it up on you. And that's why I was a little bit more upset about Spence in that fight, because you got beat and he didn't even have to change nothing up. kind of like when we go back to Ryan Garcia. So for Canelo, this would take a lot out of him if it was to happen. It's not going to be a cakewalk, but I would pick Crawford in that fight.
So I think that
You on mute, my man? Yeah, you good now. You good.
But I'm getting feedback. 1 second.
Oh, if your phone on the table, then you probably gotta pick it up.
Nah, I'm hearing applause.
Oh, you hearing stuff? What? Oh man, look, that's how Canelo gonna be, man. When he get hit, he gonna be hearing bells and Tweety Bird gonna be going around and all that. But while you figure that one out, I know we can get back to the question, but I'm gonna just talk about the IG chats right quick. See, my man done left me hanging. Now I feel like Ryan Garcia with the PEDs, but I'm gonna tell you about these IG chats because what we also have the IG chats. We have football, basketball. We got college sports, both football and basketball. When I say basketball, I mean both men's and women's. We also have a boxing chat. We have an NHL chat. We have a FS1 chat. We have literally chats for almost every sport outside of golf, table tennis, and anything that you all bet on when it comes to like FanDuel. Oh, Ricky's back. All right, there you go.
All right, sorry for that.
Oh, it's all good. I'm just telling them about the IG chats right quick. So to join these chats, you got to become a member. Most of these chats are free until we fill up. We got 30 free slots, and then after we fill out the 30 free slots, then you have to go back to being a member to join. The only two chats that are not free is the NBA and the NFL. I may have missed one. Oh, we got a baseball chat as well. I don't want to miss out on that. So basically all the shows that we have on the network, we have an IG chat as well. And to do that, you just leave a comment saying you want to be a member. We'll hit you up. And then I'll tell you about the memberships too, because we'll refuse to lose. We offer a little bit more perks too, man. You know, it's a lot. If this is your first time here, you like, man, they got everything going. Of course, we're not playing. We about business, man. What do you say, TMT? Come on, Calvin. We gotta get you the glasses, bro. I'm telling you, you look just like Calvin right now. But
that's because I got the biker
hat. We got the 3 levels, man. We got the pro level at $2.99. We got the all-star level at $4.99, and the superstar level at $9.99. With the pro level, you get loyalty badges next to your name in the comments and priority comments, and you can join one chat. Like I told y'all before, we got 30 slots right now. But if you want to join NBA or NFL, pro level at $2.99, that can get you in there. All-star for $4.99, same perk from the pro level. You get to join the member-only videos, and that's basically just casual conversation. That's more of a relaxed feel back there. And we peel back the layer a little bit about we'll refuse to lose content. A lot goes into it. You also get to join multiple chats. You can request a topic or segment nominee, and that's for all the shows on the network, including this one, but it has to be sports-related. You're not coming on here talking about your baby mama in the red corner, all right? Just want y'all to know that, because it's not happening. It's Mama's Day. I know whatever y'all going through, you still gotta say Happy Mama's Day. It is what it is. What Jeezy say? You're not gonna say it on here.
We're not gonna say it on here.
Then you got the superstar level where you get both the perks from the all-star and the pro. And I'm sweating like a pastor up here. Man, you get the perks from the superstar, from the all-star and the pro level, but you get to join the R2L chat. You get to be a guest on the show. You get awards and plaques based upon the show that you've done. And we do the member shout-outs. And I want to say shout out to all the superstar members right now. Worm, Joe, Dave, myself, Teddy, Cardo, Coach, Vaughn, Lamar, Giovanni. And I sped through that because you only get how many seconds in the corner? It's like 30 seconds.
30 seconds, yeah.
Bing, bing. We right back at it. I had to make the sound because I ain't got time to go to the sound. Now, quickly, answer the question real quick about Canelo versus Crawford because you had went out.
Okay, so yeah, I do want to see that fight. I don't know who will win that fight. That's something I would have to ponder on about. It'd probably take me a while to just determine who I would think, but right now, can't see it. I can't see who will win.
Gotcha. It's like when they throw the smoke on Call of Duty. Now we're gonna roll right on over to another fast up and coming boxer. He really is fast. They call him Monster. But if you got kids and you know about Disney Channel, I try to do something here, man. Monster's Inoue. But you gotta say Monster's Inoue, because when you see him, he could take a hit and come right back down and knock you down 3 times. In a thrilling fight, Inoue, known as the Monster, beat Nery with a stunning 6th-round knockout.
And that fight was amazing. I ain't gonna lie. For me being a fan of Inoue and seeing that fight, I'm not gonna lie to you. So when that first round knockdown that Nery put on him with the left,
Nery, yep.
I kind of was worried. And on top of that, I lost my money in FanDuel. But anyway, I was nervous and I was like, dang, how is Inoue gonna bounce back? But the next round, for him to come back the second round and get the knockdown, I was confident after that. After that, the second round knockdown, he took over the fight. He took
That's
over.
a
He took
fact.
over the fight. He adapted. Another thing is he has a thing I noticed in the fight that he wouldn't pick up. He would be in a situation where he dropped his right hand, but instead of trying to keep picking up his right hand, he started slipping and sliding more to defend against Nery, power puncher. So I want to say that watching that fight and seeing him adapt to that situation after being knocked down, that said a lot. And I can only see him going up. I can only continue to see him going up from here because now, he's junior featherweight. He's moving up in weight. He's slowly growing into it. He's taking his time and he's coming collecting belts. So I think they need to be worried about, when he start knocking that 130, that 130 door, that 135 door. But right now, him going up and continue to, be a champ and, collect belts where he at, I see him going a long way from here.
Hey, he's doing the right thing. And like you said, once he went down in that first round, I was like, uh-oh, how you gonna bounce back from this? And we got a question later on in the show. We gonna answer that. We gonna touch on that topic where I just said that because most times when you go down, now you start spiraling and it's just like womp, 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 womp. All that plan go out the window. What Mike
Yeah,
say?
the plan go out the window, yeah.
Everybody got a plan till you get hit in the face, and then next thing you know, you just start reacting. You're not even trying to be that scientist that you are, and then boom, you come back second round, knock him down. Then you put him down again. Then that sixth round, with that knockout, like a man 22,
Yeah,
it's like, whew, night. Also, the home field advantage. This did happen over at
it's
his hometown, right?
in Japan, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So as he keeps going up, at some point he's going to have to leave home, and then that's when most people are going to be like, "So can you still do it?"
Well, this is my thing with that is that it's one of them things I do want to see him come over here. I do want to see that, but it's one of them things too when he's like, I created this atmosphere right here. Why do I have to leave? Now I'm becoming a prize top fighter over here, and I'm over here. I'm collecting the belts on the way. I'm in demand. Now
Depends on his
that's
opponent, though.
that's true, but I see it both ways. So, I do want to see him come here. But if he
Okay,
comes here and he collect the belts here, all he gonna do is go back home.
that's true. Kind of like when Haney had to go over to Australia to fight Loma. Was it no Cambosis,
Nah,
right?
Cambosis, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
when he
all
had
he
to go
gonna
back
do
home.
so my thing is this: what happens if he gets that 1-2 fights here and he wins? Then he goes back home.
Now
But
everybody got
what?
to go across the pond. That's
But
crazy.
we'll see though, because the thing is, we also have to see because the I want to say the where he's at right now and the division that he's in right now doesn't get a lot of love by by the public over here. It doesn't get a lot of love like I would say how heavyweighters or
Well, that's because we all beast
135s.
in America.
Yeah, so they don't get a lot of love, but get his fight over here. He see how that money is over here, and maybe that might change his mind.
Well, we gonna see because we got another fight that needs to change a few people's minds, man. They say it's the redemption tour, or someone say the road to redemption. I don't know how you want to do it. You want to say redemption road? It is what it is. But we got Lomachenko versus Kambosa, and it's happening tonight. So
Yeah.
I'm going
So
off of what you got to say.
okay, so what's crazy with these two? I feel like with these two, they for some reason they're cursed when they get the belts. I
Nah,
don't
that
know
is true.
what it is
That is
because they
true
lose it.
though.
It was because it went to like for some reason it felt like everybody that was were trying to achieve undisputed with those belts. I think only person who did it was T.O. and Haney.
Mm-hmm.
But once they got there, it was like, oh my goodness. For these two fighters, it was like they're trying to get there. They're right there about to get there, and then they lose all the belts every time.
Every
Well,
time.
I got all the belts, and then I lost them. I got all the
Yep.
belts, and I lost them. So it seemed like they was cursed for that. Even though I will admit for Loma that fight against Haney was very, 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 very close.
He
Very
just
close.
needed that knockdown, bro. I'm telling you, if he got that
Yeah.
knockdown, he would have won it.
But he has to learn that he can't be a slow starter, and I'm hoping that with this fight with Kambosos, he learns that he can't be a slow starter, especially with Kambosos because he's an early starter. With this fight, I feel like this fight is definitely good for both candidates, and whoever loses, their career is might go in the win. Whoever loses this fight. So both fighters need this W to keep going forward. And I'm hoping, and I want to say, man, I ain't gonna say I'm hoping. I know Loma is gonna walk away with the victory on this one because Kambosos, to me, he has a boxer's punch, but that punch is easy to defend for a person like Loma, and that's just the overhand right. Kambosos' overhand right got him this far, and I feel like Loma could defend that.
See, I mean, Loma said something and it stood out, and I'm glad you said something about how they always get the belts and then they lose. He was like, man, to me in boxing, there's only one champion, and that's the undisputed champion. I don't care if you got one belt. If you got all of them, to me, you the champ. And I think at this moment, I need to find a way to get back to being that. Kambosos, I mean, they both had too many common opponents where you could just look at it and be like, man, I see what you did there, but I also see what happened over here. Loma earned my fandom, man, after that Haney fight, because I was like, ain't no way that man you just lost that fight like that to that boy, man, and you were a better boxer. Kambosos can put up a real good fight. I'm going with Loma though. I know it's in Australia. In Australia, and that home crowd that can fuel you back, like a Rocky or a Creed movie. But I think Lomachenko going to walk away with this.
Since Kambosos is a tough opponent and I can't see a KO, definitely going to see this fight go all the way. It goes a distance, and it goes a decision to Loma. This fight would be it. And honestly, I'm putting my money on it. So that's how much I believe that this fight going to be, Loma corner, plus it's going to a decision.
Okay. Well, we're going to see, man. We're going to see. Now, there was something, I know you wanted to touch on this, and this is going to be a quick one, or maybe it's just another discussion that can flow over to the chats or maybe in the comments, but we got to ask, man. So when you watching a boxing match, right? Because I know you watch, shout out to little bro Mo. You watch it live, you watch amateurs, and you also watch, on TV. But when you sitting down watching a boxing match, what are the things that you're looking for? And name 5 of those things.
So what I also want to do, since this is a good topic as well, if anybody want to discuss or put in the comments what they also look for in boxing matches, because I'm also curious to see what other people look for, what they, I don't care if you're the casual boxer fan or analytic or have previous boxing experience, put in the comments also what you're looking for, what you look for when you watch these fights. But in my opinion, for me, it goes more so by round. So I want to say at least about the first 2 to 3 rounds, I'm looking for the game plan. And looking for the game plan, I'm looking for who has a good jab or who's using, the jab, to score, and who's trying. And then I also want to look for who I feel is going to get hurt, who's going to get hurt early. So those are the things I look for in the first round. First 3 rounds, and then going between 4 and 6, I'm looking for more so endurance. Who can pull through when it gets to the even later rounds, and also how much hurt is being taken by the opponent. Another thing I want to say looking for is specifically power punches, because those score big, and that could determine a fight. So I'm definitely looking for that. And last thing I want to say is when it gets to the later rounds, it's just straight grit, honestly, straight grit. And then if it gets to the later rounds, how much longer we got before a KO or someone just, got, or you could just go ahead and say somebody just won. So for me, it's more so about rounds.
Okay.
When I look for that.
Well, see, that's because you entrenched in boxing. You kind of was around the ring a little bit. So I'm gonna say, for me, it's the story of the fight. That's the first thing I'm looking for. Like once I first hit a matchup, I'm like, all right, so why is this happening? Who are these 2 people? And if I know of them, why do they need to fight each other? So that's the first thing I look for, like the initial story of the fight. Then it goes into the technical skills, because once I get the story, now I can break down and be like, all right, so how could this person beat this person? Like, let me use a fighter for an example. Tank versus Garcia. I'm going to go there. Or Tank versus Rowley, because I didn't know too much about Rowley. So I'm looking at like, why is he fighting Rowley? Who is Rowley? Now I got to see the technical skills of how Rolly can beat Tank because I'm a Tank fan. So now I want to see how you can actually beat the person that I think is the better of the two. And then also going into like what I know what he's capable of. The third thing is the fight IQ and the strategy. You know, it kind of the technique kind of rolls into the IQ and the strategy, but it's also like once you get into the ring, what was your game plan going into it? And then what happened after you could see it altered a little bit. And I'll use another visual example of Haney versus Garcia. Like Haney really thought he was gonna go in there and just do one thing, and then Garcia turned around and did something else. So like, what was the initial strategy, and what is your fight IQ that's gonna tell you like I can't keep doing this? Like, how am I gonna get back in the way a little bit, get hit in the first round, bounce back second round? Adaptability goes into it as well. Yeah. Later rounds, this is the fourth, like you said, the fifth or sixth round going into it is like, all right, this is not what I planned it to be. Spence Crawford. Do I go out and just start swinging all crazy, or do I like, or do I try to get technical? Do I get on the defensive? Or am I running around the ring more? Like I'm looking for those type of things. Like how are you adapting to your opponent, or how's your opponent adapting to you? And finally, I like that one too, Tay. I'm gonna bring that comment up. But your team, like what happens when you go back to that corner? Like what is your team seeing and telling you that you need to work on, or things that you need to change? I.e., my pinpoint with Derrick James. Like, why are your boxers not really listening to what you're seeing out there? Because you're watching it from a different aspect. Granted, they are taking the hits, but what is your team telling you that you need to work on, or that you need to avoid? So for me, those are like the 5 things that go into it. Because I'm more of a creature of habit. So if I'm watching someone's habit, I'm like, well, if I can see it, I know the corner can see it. Then they need to tell them to change it.
So let's sum it up. So we're gonna say I'm gonna put yours a little bit, yours and mine combined. So we're gonna say adaptability, punch resistance, game plan.
There we go.
And what we want to say is bad habits. Of course, the bad habits, because that's when we're gonna know if you're gonna lose. Your bad habits, and also power, because I know that's the entertainment aspect of the sport.
Of course. And I'm gonna read one of the comments right quick because we got to make a quick prediction for the top fights, and then we're gonna get on up out of here. Tay said defense, technicality, footwork, game plan, and adjustments. And he also came back and was like heart as well, because you got to be willing to get hit and still push forward and get hit again. That's true.
Yeah, you gotta be. Yeah, that's true.
I would say for boxing, it's one of those things where it's one of those sports where you can't get too into your head because you might wake up the next day. So what happened, y'all?
And then when it comes to boxing too, especially with the heart aspect coming, because in my opinion, I feel as though you have to have. There's actually 2 wins. It's one for the winner, you get, you're victorious, but second also for the losing opponent to, win that battle with themselves that took that loss, because that's another battle itself. So I like to see when fighters can take that loss and still come out champ with themselves and get back in that ring.
Shout out to Meek Mill. Now we're gonna do these top fights from the red corner. So basically, we have a few fights in May, and these 2 fights here. You're just gonna do a quick prediction, right?
Just a quick prediction, and then these are the next, couple of fights for the rest of May.
All right. Well, hey, if y'all got y'all. Oh, I forgot. I'm here. I'm like, why y'all don't got Tyson up there, man? yeah. Ty said something about Mike Tyson fight. Yep. But we talking about Usyk versus Fury, and that's happening on May 18th.
Yeah, in Saudi. So I'm 60-40 with this one, and I'm going because I like Usyk footwork, and I know I'm going 60 Tyson and 40 Usyk because Usyk footwork is good. I know he don't have the power, but one thing he has an opportunity to do is dance around Tyson. So but I know Tyson more likely will pull this win out. So I'm going Tyson.
All right, just to shake some things up, I'm gonna go with Usyk. I think Fury, my mind is telling me Fury though, because I know how Fury can get, and when he takes a fighter serious, unlike that expedition that he did, where he's playing around, but once he takes you serious, he can lock in. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna just shake the table a little bit. I'm gonna go with Usyk.
Okay. And this next one we got Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall in England, and that's May 25th. This will be a second fight for these two. They already fought before. And for this one, I'm 50-50 to be honest. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm 50-50 based on the last fight when they fought each other. I know Taylor was able to pull through the last fight, so haven't seen a lot of Jack fight, but I'm 50-50 for now.
Man,
50-50.
I don't like that, man. You know, when you on air, you gotta make a pick. You know,
I know. I feel like you should, but I gotta be honest. I can't be throwing the wheels at people. I gotta be honest.
Now I'm with you because I don't want nobody to come on here telling some man. You said you was going Usyk, and I put my money on him. I'm like, I ain't tell you to bet. I ain't tell you to do that. I told you who I thought was gonna win, and I actually told you who I actually thought was Fury. But if you want to go with Usyk, then you do that. For me, you say 50-50. If you're going 50-50, I gotta go with Josh Taylor. I mean, at some point, I know what you're saying about his last fight, but at some point, you got to step up and show people that you are the man that you say you are. And this is one of those sports where you have to do that. So I'm going to go with Josh Taylor. If it ends in a draw, that's the one thing about boxing, though. So you're right. You can go 50-50. It can end in a draw.
It is a possibility.
Yeah, you're right.
and a big payout. It's a possibility and a big payout. So if you do win off the 50-50, don't go ahead, throw a tip in the red corner, and just say,
And if you want to figure out how to do that, hit us up in those IG chats and we can give you the cash app because or you can just watch Refuse to Lose and you can send that super chat. I mean, it is what it is, man. Somehow, some way you can throw that money over here, no strip club. No strip club. But those are those are our top fights for May. And we're gonna go ahead and get on up out of here. But I know we gotta get these last words in. So I'm gonna start with you, Ricky, man. What's your last word?
I just want to say, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Shout out to Tay. Thank you for tuning in as well. I know you heavy Ryan fight. I should have thought about getting you on the show. So Ryan, next fight, we need to get you on the show. And just shout out to everybody who's been watching and tuning in again. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Man, we got to start with that one. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Like I said, even as a Black queen, Latin queen. No, I can't say that. That might go left. I begin suspended when I do these shows, man. I gotta chill.
Don't get us canceled. We too early.
Yeah. So all moms, all races and ethnicities, man. Happy Mother's Day. And to all the boxers out there, man, I know you're going through training camp. I know Tank out here showing people sparring matches on his phone and telling people move. And Frank trying to figure out how he gonna get back. But look, at the end of the day, Calvin Johnson is coming for Trainer of the Year, and Frank is trying to show that he's one of the best boxers. So it's gonna be a very entertaining fight, but that's happening in June. And we want to say, man, continue to watch all the shows on Refuse to Lose, and we out. But I can't say we out yet. Hey, man.
That's my outro. You messing up now. You about to get a black eye.
I just did. Trying to find the outro, man. Sheesh, man. What Martin say, man? I don't want to fight no more.
Get that boy the frozen peas.
And we out, man.
We out.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.